So earlier today I went to see Endgame for the second time. I'm definitely glad I waited out on this review until the rewatch because I think it's grown on me a bit more. Not that I wasn't a fan of it on the first time round, but more the fact I just felt a bit jarred by the pace and the tone. But more on that later. Just a quick note, this review doesn't contain any major spoilers, but I'll be talking vaguely about the plot points and characters I liked, so be warned if you've not seen the film yet. One thing that's so great about Endgame is it feels like a culmination of all the past years of the MCU. One of my few criticisms of Infinity War was that it felt almost too much like a Guardians film, and less of an Avengers one. And while that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it did result in a very spacey film with less focus on Earth's mightiest heroes, something Endgame seems to do the opposite with. Also, some of the interesting tweaks to certain characters and places did a lot of good for the film too. We were seeing the effects of the Avengers' loss, the mistakes others have made, and what's become of the reliable heroes we've often taken for granted. My three standout characters were definitely Thor, Hawkeye and Nebula. Nebula being one of my all-time favourite characters in the MCU now, after a dramatic change from one of the worst. Though we can probably thank Guardians 2 for making it more interesting, it's Endgame where she went from good to great. I guess I do have to bring up some of my criticisms now though. This film is something I like to call tonal inconsistency. While it can be argued that people are dealing with grief in their own ways or simply just moving on, the ever-present Marvel wisecracks of this film were often turned up a notch, and in some of the worst places, some even less than days after Thanos had just wiped out half the life in the universe. And while that wasn't always a problem for me, when tailored with a slow beginning and a slightly drawn-out MacGuffin quest, the constant joking around slowly got to me after a while. Also, product placement everywhere. Seriously, they're at a point now where they're just literally just throwing brands into our faces. But that's it. All I can really criticise for now. And even then, the inconsistent tone felt better at times than the consistently dread-filled tone of Infinity War. All in all, Endgame is a great conclusion. Brought everything together really well, and delivered an ending that honours the long-time fans of the series. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Not as consistently great as Infinity War, but definitely has better high points.